They warn us with proverbs like padlocks, like fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But no one writes the third line. What happens when I build a home inside the burning? The first light arrived dressed as weather, a passing storm with a tender name. I cupped the rain like it was mercy, told myself no one controls the rain. You said sorry like a soft religion, and I kneeled at the altar of again. Cognitive dissonance stitched my lips to truths grinding like tectonic plates. You hurt me, you love me, my mind chose a softer weight, and comfort is a clever anesthetic. It numbs the will to change our fate. Fool me once, I call it a lesson. Fool me twice, I call it love. Fool me thrice, now I'm confessing I crowned the wolf I was warned of. When the door was open, I stayed inside. Sometimes a cage is chosen pride. Once was a bruise, twice was a vow, 3 times and somehow I teach you how. Repetition, compulsion hums like static, trauma looping its favorite song. The nervous system prefers the familiar, even when familiar is wrong. Intermittent kindness is casino logic. One small win keeps us holding on. Attachment wired in early winters, where silence felt like exile's blade. If love meant earning crumbs of warmth, then crumbs became the feast I ate. You never forced the door against me, I locked it gently, I stayed. We romanticize endurance, call it loyalty, call it grit. But boundaries whispered in my bloodstream, and I kept swallowing it. Self-betrayal rarely shouts, it bargains bit by bit. Fool me once, I curse your disguise. Fool me twice, I close my eyes. Fool me thrice, the mirror replies. I survived the way I was designed, and survival can calcify into a script we don't untie. Plato's cave was not a prison, it was a comfort with familiar walls. The shadows danced exactly as expected. Certainty is what enthralls. You didn't have to chain my ankles, I feared the light beyond it all. What if enabling is grief in costume, afraid of losing what already left? What if walking away feels like dying to the version of me that wept? Accountability is a blade of winter, it cuts the fantasy from flesh to leave. The fooling is to mourn it, to choose